Everyone, welcome back to Time Channel. Today we're going to play some more To Eat a God. Right now we have Yandere Danesum. Right now we still have to do Septems Act 1 route. So let's begin. In the garden, there are 7 symbols which we must worship. Each one represents a concept linked to the creation of the garden. The symbols are entities generated by the creator to maintain the order and the functioning of the garden. All beings born under the command of the garden have a limited connection with the representative symbol, depending on the day they were born. No one was born on Sundays. Sundays are a sacred day. It's like Sundays are sacred. It said that the symbols choose 6 people after the candles festival to consume them, in the hopes that one of them is reincarnation of the creator, like recreation of Chuck. Your character's past doesn't matter. It's just in their body for you to take. Something you already used to, I guess. Yeah. Pretty sure. A lot. Welcome to the garden, a place used as a test. A disposable place after finishing playing it. The game is simple. You must not let the other characters find out you're a puppet. Your puppet's connected to you. Your puppet will be sent as a gift for the symbols, and you should act as if you belong there. Please do not do anything that is outside the supposed stations, nor summon the name of a representative of the void. This is strictly prohibited. Yeah, I learned that. Nah, I like doing that. But we're gonna have to go for another route anyway. Even if you are given the opportunity. Well, I did his route first because you told me not to. Don't do it. You feel yourself fall on a hard surface, which scrapes your knees. It's a sharp knock, which makes a strange echo in the place. You can hear the sound of silverware being scrapped on a plate. And then dead silence. Something's wrong. Open your eyes. You look where you have fallen. You realized you're on a table. You fell right on the cake, watching your entire hand and the part of your knee be stained with chocolate. Hey, you heard a voice behind you, reflectively. You turn to see who it is. Hey, Noel. In front of you is a man who looks back at you in amusement. And before you can ask what's going on here or interrupt you, you shouldn't be here. I know. You have got to be kidding me. I can't believe this distribution mechanism has broken down again. I have to do something myself. I have to do everything myself. There's no one here who's responsible enough to check if everything's in order. You feel like a visible hand grabbing your body and punching you into a void. Little by little, you sink into the dark void that envelops you. The sensation is strange, warmly strange. What the heck? There's no information about you. This can't be possible. What's going on? Ask what's going on. What's happening? I can't see the connection with your symbol. Apparently you're not a subject. Pardon me, I was wrong. Welcome, I've been waiting for you. Mother says she'll send them a new toy. The word toy doesn't sound right. You feel a small ting of discomfort at the strangeness of the situation. But remember that you have to put on a good face. Act natural. Like you really belong here. After what happened to the last one, I really hope you last longer. Hopefully I do last longer. For the most part, you really don't want to know what happened to the last one. My name's Noel. Owner of the Void, nice to meet you. Before you leave, I need your name. What's your name? YN, of course. I'm YN. Welcome to the Void, YN. Noel extends his hand to you and you squeeze it tightly. In greeting, despite the seconds passing, he doesn't let you go. You feel how his gaze devours your soul. It seems like he was looking for something. Look away. You look away. You can't stand the way Noel's eyes make holes in your head. Your eyes travel to where your hands are connected. You are the first to let go, causing Noel to snicker. I guess Mother gave you life and didn't explain anything to you. How neglected of her. Today you will attend at the hotel. You serve as a waiter in the dining room. Today some symbols will come because they have a meeting at my hotel. What's the hotel's name? Hotel Void? If you serve them well, maybe they'll make you acquaintance. But now, you're just a toy, so be careful. The entity that calls himself Noel touches your forehead, and you feel again how visible hands grab your lips to push you down. With this, the ground swallows you in total darkness. Blackness. Don't be scared. We will soon reach our destination. Despite not seeing anything, you can feel like you're floating in the void. Out of nowhere, a strange pressure is exerted on your body, causing you to feel like you're falling. And sure enough, you fall on your hands on a cold floor. You look around, and the place has changed. You no longer find yourself in the same kitchen as before. It's more of like a restaurant or hotel. Now it's a larger one, similar to kitchens that are in restaurants. We have arrived. You look up to find Noel, who's standing next to you. But he doesn't look at you. Beyond, near the knives, there's a strange-looking person. Noel looks at him. Hey, Fams. The funny-looking man jumps when he hears Noel. When you look more closely, you realize he's wearing a mask that prevents you from seeing his features. Mr. Noel, I thought you wouldn't come today. He doesn't sound very happy with Noel's arrival. I had a little problem. Does it have to do with the smelly creature next to you? Yes. Smelly? You tilt your head slightly to verify his statement. Find that you don't even smell like anything at all. Something like that. Mr. Noel, that thing smells like a human, because I am a human. I have to return them to the warehouse. You should check your sense of smell, Fams. It's getting worse. This is the new toy that Mother has sent. To entertain the symbols. But the last one was completely broken by Quinque. I thought you and Mother had agreed that no more would be made. That was because Quinque is an animal. He doesn't take care of things. But I guess Mother can't leave Septem without his weekly meal. It's obvious you're burned by favoritism. In a way, you feel like you're the third wheel in the conversation, because I am. It's not like you have much to contribute either. Anyway, I have faith in this creation. There's something different about it, different from theirs. The only difference is that it reeks vehement. Maybe some of it will like that. Fams leaves to go and search for a plate. When he returns, you can appreciate what's there. Noel does the same from his side. It's meat. Noel looks at Fams with a smug face. If you let them attend to the symbols, you might save one of your employees from losing their lives. Lately, the symbols have been acting displeased. Been very displeased. Okay, you win. It's like I had to think for a moment. Now please stop interrupting my work. Noel detaches himself from Fams and begins to walk towards the door that appears to be the exit from the kitchen. I'll see you later. You're in charge of Fams. Goodbye. Is Fams in charge or am I in charge? What an idiot. Well, I need you to attend the symbols that will arrive shortly. Meanwhile, prepare the table for them. Tham shows you the table where the symbols will come and explains that they are away from normal public because they have very important topics to discuss amongst themselves. Also, Thams has instructed you that the food must be set on the table before they arrive. You're now unsupervised. Do what you were asked, what they asked you. You shouldn't risk escaping. It's better to do what they ask before and act normally. You set the table very carefully. From time to time, Thams passes by to inspect how you're doing. Once he considers that you have finished setting the table, he calls you to the kitchen. Like there's a tomato. He explains that you have to place the starter dishes and then wait for the symbols to arrive. When Thams prepares the dishes, he tells you that there's only 5 symbols are coming today. Each one has an intimidating aura, and all are very prone to responding immediately to its workers if they don't like something. Especially Unum. He has those 2 eyes that follow you everywhere. I thought he was kind of sweet when he wasn't trying to kill us. I heard that those eyes were taken from a Quieter in a fight. I hate that brat. Once Thams finishes preparing the starters, he leaves them on the counter and reluctantly wishes you good luck. There are 5 dishes, but due to your lack of extra arms, you only take 2. 1 plate on each side. He walked the same route you've been doing, but as you approach the table, you see something is still not right. It's not empty. Here's our 2 of our yanderies. From the shock, you almost dropped your plate. There are 2 people sitting comfortably at the table that are supposed to be for the symbols. They look at you. The blonde with the ridiculous crown looks at you spectrally, while the redhead smiles at you from ear to ear. Its teeth remind you of a shark's. There's a moment when none of you take the initiative or reacts, and the 2 don't seem nervous. It seems like they're waiting for your reaction, so they continue with their business. Introduce yourself. You suppose these must be the symbols that Noel and Thams have been talking about. In a way, it's difficult for you to imagine that they could take the life of someone who works here. Well, they look pretty friendly. Do not attempt the fate by making them wait. You decide to present yourself. My name's Wyan. Today I'll be assisting you. The redhead looks at the blonde with a toothy smile, but the blonde only smiles and looks at you. It kind of makes you feel nervous in your stomach. Hey, Septem. This is not a worker. Could it be Mother's gift? It seems the previous one. It's similar to the previous one, but better. The eyes. It's the eyes that they have, and the smell they emanate. Wow, it looks like Mother's making them similar to humans now. Indeed. You don't know how to answer that, so you decide to look beyond the table, and you realize that Noel is watching you with intense gaze. Can I be the first one to use them? No. We must wait for theirs. We already did your route. They said they would be late because Quinn Q was throwing a tantrum. We had to wait at least an hour. There's an awkward silence before the blonde breaks it. Between you and Quinn Q, I don't know who's worse. The redhead narrows his eyes, looking at the blonde with anger, but doesn't say or refute anything. Instead, he chooses to look at you and crosses his arms. He says, "We can make the most of our time and start so when the others arrive, we would be ready. Besides, I never got the innocence, only the trashy parts. What would I gain if we start earlier? You always complain that they break too quickly. Besides, the time you take when it's your turn is eternal." Quieter said it's because you like to talk to the gift before devouring its essence. You're strange. That's none of your business. You won't understand anyway. I know. How about we make the most of our time and do that one thing you do with the gift? Talk to the gift? Well, we would have to seal the table. Call Noel to do it. Noel! In wake eye, Noel materializes next to you with his gaze fixed on the blonde. His Holiness Septem. The tone used by Noel for blonde Septem is a tall, surly one, as if he had a version of just naming the blonde's title. Need something else? I want you to seal the table for a while. Hey, but I don't want you to hear what I'm talking about with the gift. I want privacy. And what do you suppose? You could let the gift choose and summon one of your names. You assume they're talking about you. You look directly into Noel's eyes and feel how he stares at you, implicitly commanding you not to fuse. Well, we never have done this before. Sounds interesting. Well, who would you choose? Septem, Jim. Well, you done well. Now comes the hard part. If you want to survive by the end of the meeting, by the time the meeting begins, you must get yourself accepted as apprentice. Otherwise, your puppet's body will be devoured. Okay. Noel, you can seal the table now. He's one of this drinking. In a matter of seconds, you stopped seeing the redhead and Noel, leaving only Septem at the table with you. A few seconds of silence passes. You assume that you should take the lead and start the conversation. If not, you fear he will get bored and eat you. And you can't last that long standing like an idiot under Septem's judging gaze, which is a little scary. You should think about it a little before making a decision. We're going to have so much fun with this because we are going to try escape first. Escape. You're not going to lick this clown's boots. You have standards, darling. I do. It's all yanders, even though I'm running away from yonder, so that doesn't make sense. So that Septem guy can stick his judgmental gaze up his butt. You're not here to be his personal clown. Period. I'm sorry, but I'm not into anyone's games. Having said that, you prepare to run to where the stairs are located. There will surely be an exit nearby. When you try to run, you realize there's something is wrong. You're not moving forward. It's like you're running on a visible treadmill. Oh, it's him. Where do you think you're going? You're the first gift that dares escape from me. If you were with Unum, he would surely be impressed. He would even congratulate you. But it's a shame you didn't choose him. Boo-hoo. The only rule here is to respect your superiors. And you have the audacity to suspect me? You should thank me for even giving you my time and showing my presence to you. Warm. I have no choice but to punish this offense. I'm sure the others will understand. ... To your horror, Septem begins to approach quite close, although without invading your personal space. Unable to run in advance further, you only expect the worst. You are the worst gift so far. I have faith that you would be different. I had faith that you'd be different. Yeah, you chose wrong on that. But it's not this sense. Septem grabs you by the collar and lifts you to his level. I try to let go, but it's in vain. Yeah, Aripitas. You feel your chest of it being broken, a hand reaching inside you in search of something specific. When he finds it, you're already losing your sight. Dot dot dot. Bad end devoured by the 7th. So Sit gives you the same ending as Escape, so we're gonna have to wait until he speaks. You don't want to risk moving any muscles. Breathing or speaking, something in his eyes tells you that you should be careful. So now it seems like a staring contest because of how tense Septem's eyes are on you. First one to blink loses. 4 seconds go by without either of you blinking, and you are already at your limit. Crap! If you keep this up, you're going to lose. And Mama won't make. Mama doesn't make and didn't make any losers. More seconds pass. You know because you're counting them, and yet Septem doesn't blink or say anything. What a shame! You accept your defeat, blinking usually, which causes Septem to laugh. You can sit now. You sit across from Septem, who's smiling at you, pleased that you listen to him without much complaint. When you settle on the chair, you realize, well, you're not sure what to do or say, so you have 3 options. I wonder if starting a yap will give us a bad end with him. Let's try it. Start yapping. Without giving the matter any further thought, you decide to start yapping about your new hyperfiction. It's like, okay, what am I now? You tell him without much shame, since you decide to leave that when you agree to download this game from the most minuscule and far-fetched info. Okay, Persona, we're talking about Persona this time. To the most disturbing is spicy. You talk so much without even realizing it, like you were talking to a friend who shares your strange taste. But so far you didn't dare to look at his reaction. The roar that the environment transmits does not give a very good feeling, so you stop, dead silent, and in terror you look up to see Septem's reaction. ... The feeling of being judged by Septem is one of the worst sentences you can be given. You don't wish it on anyone. I must admit that I find the enthusiasm you show when speaking adorable, but you should lower your voice and speak a little slower. Oh, I should be talking about it a little slower. He's right, you probably look like a rabid dog barking at a lamppost. The best thing you could do is apologize. Sorry. Don't worry, I love to keep listening. But we have other topics that I want to discuss. I'll get straight to the point. I know a puppet when I see one. You have the same eyes. And I can see that there will tends to be override by your commands. You don't have complete control. You brace yourself for the worst. Blake might gut you or break a bone. But nothing happens. Septem is just watching you. Oh, fear not, Mother does not have access to a sealed place, so she won't punish you. Although those words are intended to calm you down, the effect they have on you is quite the opposite. The level of synchronization they have is not at 100%. You too are not feeling the same, and your reactions tend to contradict each other. If you had complete control, you could interact with this world however you want. A total immersion, not limited like the one you're experiencing behind the screen. I'm sure Noel has already found out, so we must act quickly. I could help you. You'll follow my commands if you want to survive. Oh, you're gonna help us? Okay. When Noel takes out the seal, don't move. So last time we declined and we were devoured by everyone, so we are going to just accept. I mean, last time when we did Nunum's route, accept. You accept in hope that you could stay alive. You would do whatever it takes to live. You earn a smile from Septem upon hearing your response. Noel must be about to remove the seal. You nod your head. Not even 3 seconds pass when you feel a strange pressure on your body. You're sure it must be Noel. Noel and the redhead materialize right where you saw them last. Noel's standing on the side of the table, and the redhead sitting next to Septem, as if they had always been there. As a takeaway, we're just waiting. We're just in a different dimension. Septem looks at Noel with a long face. Noticing this, he speaks faster than usual. I see that you don't like the gift very much. I see that you didn't like the gift very much. You could give it to me, and I'll tell Mother to exchange it for another one. He sounds anxious. It seems that it's not one of the highest. It seems that it's not the highest qualities. Highest quality. Unum thinks the same, so I suppose others will think so too. He's like, wait, what? I didn't say that. Noel begins to approach you with intent to take hold of your arm. His gaze doesn't leave your figure. There's no need. It will go with me to my domain. Talk to Mur to bring in their gift. I doubt it will take more than 5 minutes. Sorry, but I cannot tarnish Mur's name with such a mediocre offering. Noel grabs your arm tightly and attempts to talk to you. Play along with me. It's not safe. But Septem stops him by striking Noel from behind. Son of a... In a blink of an arm, Septem breaks Noel's chest. I won't let you ruin it. He's saving us. And with disdain, he pushes the black-haired man's body to the side, which technically he's gonna live, causing him to fall with a thump. Noel lies on the ground, coughing up blood. I said I'll take them with me. Unum urgently gets up from the table, but decides not to approach them. Well, Septem, you're in the public. If anyone were to see, shut your mouth. No. You can tell there's I'll be busy. The terror you could feel freezes you into place. It seems accepting Septem's offer wasn't the best idea. Or was it? But in a way, you thank the gods that Septem's wrath is not focused on you. Although you feel a little bad that it was Noel. Septem turns around. Well, knowing that his route where we basically acting like Ruji with trying to get shook at his fingers type thing. Septem turns around so he could see you face to face, and without explaining anything, he touches your forehead delicately. And your vision blurs. You suddenly stop hearing Noel's labored breathing and the ambient noise of the dining room. And then give way to total darkness. You wake up to this feeling of falling. And then you realize you're in a warm, spacious bed. The first thing your eyes see is a huge window that is located on the side of the bed. You assume it's daytime because of the light coming in, but it's strange since you can't see anything except the brightness outside the window. Suddenly, what happened comes into mind, and you hurriedly look for any trace of Septem. There's no one in the room with you. Let's try to leave the room. You inspect the room with the hopes to find an exit, but there is a door in the windows. You approach the door hoping to find it open. When you touch the doorknob and turn it, you realize that it's not locked, so you can get out. You go out cautiously, trying to make out little noise as possible. When you leave, you find yourself in a hallway, where at the end you see a room. You walk in the direction of that room. Where are you going? I can't tell. I can't let you go. If you want to escape from here so badly, then go ahead. I don't feel like dealing with someone who has no interest in me. After all, Myra can make another puppet. I'll do you the favor of finishing you off quickly. Septem pierces your chest without hesitation and quickly pulls something out of there. You try to identify what he took, but your vision becomes worry. Part essence. Bad and without interest, things don't work. We weren't even trying to escape, we just left the room. But so, you investigate the room or stay here and wait. Investigate the room. You get out of bed with difficulty. The room is discreetly the room is spacious and with the atmosphere that reminds you of a hospital. All white with no traces of any other color. There's pink and black. Nothing found here evokes any sense of belonging or traces of personality. It's weird. I see you're already woken up. It's time for breakfast. Septem is near the window with his hands behind his back. You have no idea where he came from, and it gives you goosebumps. It seems you take more time than necessary to answer him, because Septem glimpses irritated. Did you hear me? You nod. Okay, let's go. Septem puts his hands together, and the place begins to change. And the bed in the room transforms into a dining room with the same color palette. You fall into a chair in front of you, front of a table that already has plates and food served. Okay, where's the food? I don't see any food. Septem's seated in front of you. The puppet has anything for more than 24 hours. You must eat, otherwise the puppet won't work properly. For some reason, although you couldn't explain it why, it seems like he was speaking from experience. You don't dare do anything, so Septem hasn't given you permission to start eating, and you don't want to tempt fate. You can eat. Without eating, you realize something strange, and that Septem is now does not have that voice that resonates both in your head and your body. That's somewhat unstable, and at the same time, inorganic voice. Well, that was not his personal voice, though. It's normal now. You don't think it's a good idea to ask him. It might be disrespectful you to talk or ask about that kind of thing. I don't like that we have the puppet interfering in our conversation. But it's essential to be able to connect with you in this world. I expect you, being an entity from a higher plane, you probably have more power than me or Mars combined. Yeah, about that. It could even be very similar to the power of the creator. Unfortunately, the power cannot be demonstrated right now, since you're only visiting here. You'll probably forget the world when you cut the bond with me. What was that? A voice slipped into your thoughts. You don't like this. I need time. Enough, just do what I say. Yeah, I haven't had enough. You do what I say. Septem looks at you in amusement. With the information given, you know that you're now in a position where Septem has no power before you. Are you sure about that? Well, he clearly said that, right? I'm aware that you are a higher being, but I'm not willing to accept this kind of treatment, at least from someone who has no control over me or my actions. I can easily take your puppet's head off, and you won't be able to do anything. Because you're limited in options under predetermined actions. See you later. Septem cuts off your head. Baden. Measuring your range. And I failed. Time for what? Septem looks at you before answering completely seriously. Time to change the vessel and become a perfect being. You, Ryan, are what I need. But I don't want to. Well, technically, it won't be me. The puppet might be. The more time passes, the more dependence your puppet will acquire, and we need their permission to make the change. That will be a problem if you don't know how to control them. Septem is lying. I would never go against you or display your commands. Wyan, I'm here to serve you. Don't believe him. Totally believe him. Septem lets out a small laugh as he watches you reaction. You should be more careful. They're always starting to dislodge from you. And if that happens, you'll no longer be of use to me. Uh-oh. The blonde gets up from the table and examines his hands for a long time. See you at lunch. Meanwhile, you can roam around my domain as you please. Septem leaves the table, carrying the now empty plates to another place. You assume it must be the kitchen. You wait for Septem to appear again, so it can't believe he would leave you unsupervised and give you free pass to do whatever you want. Oh, he just did, though. But he doesn't appear again. You stand there collecting your thoughts, analyzing everything that they have told you and what has happened. Septem wants to give you complete control, complete synchronization within this body, but I don't understand what he would be gaining in return. He's not trustworthy. He need no. No, we don't need no. You don't need no. Whatever your answer, you don't know if Noah is still alive or not, so you must remain on your own for now. You spend your time walking through what appears to be a temple. Well, there's a bunch of statues of Septem and paintings with religious allegory. Inside it, you find a bunch of doors. What's the worst that could happen if we investigate the doors? So let's investigate the doors. Go to the front door. You go to the door in front of you. When you open it, you find that leads to a hallway. You decide to go there and find out where it leads you. You walk, and you continue walking down the hallway, but you feel like you're not moving forward. Although you look back, you can no longer see the door you came in through. You continue walking, not paying attention to the walls and decoration of the hallway. It repeats itself. After a while, there's no point in continuing. You turn around and go back the way you came. It takes you a while, but you manage to reach the initial door. Back door. You go for the door behind, which is guarded by two statues with the figure of Septem. You wait for the door to be closed, and incredibly it's not. When you open the door, you realize that it's darker than it really should be. It's not because you're a coward, but you're not going to go in there. Go to the door on the left. You go to the door that is to the left of the altar. It's locked. You need a key. Find the key. There must be something to open the door. Go to the second floor. You go to the second floor. You search the whole place because at first glance there's nothing interesting. In one of the drawers you find a key and several documents that seem important. You put the key in your pockets because it seems important. But there are written language they can't understand. So we go back to the first door, the left door. You go to the door that is on the left of the altar. It's locked. You need a key. Use the key. Maybe the key found on the second floor can be used to open this door. When using it, the lock clicks. It's open. Inside, you find a room very similar to the one you woke up in today. The only difference is there's someone laying there. You approach and find Septem sleeping. Seeing your mistake, you try to walk away without making a sound. But Septem opens eyes before you can do anything. You're adorable while you sleep. Who are you? What? Does he remember you? At all? Septem? Septem quickly gets out of bed to place both hands on your mouth. Don't say his name. Wait, you're not him? You try to shake his hands off, but it's useless. We're not in his presence, so please do not summon him. He, seeing that you calm down a little, releases his grip, slowly covering your mouth. Where did you find the key? What's this? Answer. On the second floor, inside, hidden in drawers there. Oh, wait a moment. He comes closer to look at you carefully. He looks you straight in the eyes, and it seems that he takes his breath away. It's crying out Septem. There's something different about him. You're also being controlled by a higher being. Pardon? They're using you like a puppet. Yeah. It can't be. You're like me? The entity that's not Septem takes a few steps back, dejected by the situation. It's the first time someone's inside the temple. The entity that has Septem's body sits on the bed and motions for you to do the same. He looks nervous. Noticing that he doesn't seem to be a threat, you sit down. Just to know what's going on. It's strange to see Septem's face, but with that expression, it even seems cute to him, to you. You can't help but stare at his cute face. At this, he seems to get more nervous. A giggle escapes you accidentally. What's so funny? He wants to look imposing, but it doesn't work. He really was Septem. If he really was Septem, he would be hesitating right now, like he is now. He wouldn't be hesitating like he is now. What's your name? I can't say. What if you write it down? I'm not allowed to do anything that reveals my name. If I do, I will die. I think I understand now. He wants to have the entity that is controlling you. Sooner or later, he would replace me. Can I ask you a favor? You nod, mostly because you want to know what he'll ask of you. So he uses his body. He has some documents in the void room. There must be documents of my birth with my name. Please look for it. I'll give you freedom if you do. And you can escape from him. Escape from Septem? Sounds like a good offer. The day begins to cough as if choking. You must go. Without another word, he stands up and pushes you out of the room. You stare at the room for a long time. You knock a few times, but there's no response. Is it the back door? Yeah, it was the back door. You go to the door behind, which is guarded by two statues with the figure of Septem. You wait for the door to be closed, but it's probably not. When you open the door, you realize that it's darker than it really should be. It's not because you're a coward, but you're not going to go in there. Okay, so no matter what, we cannot do anything because that would technically probably the void room. Because we already went here. I could go here again, the front door. And just skip. Yeah, it was the same. Wait until lunch. You wait for hours to pass. You doze off thinking what happened with Noel and what Septem knows about you. But you find no answer to either of your two questions. Time passes quickly enough to surprise you with Septem's arrival at the altar. You wait for him to speak. It's time for lunch. You're tempted to ask why he put so much emphasis on sharing meal times with you. If he's worrying about you eating, then there's no need to sit down and eat with you. Okay, so him having using a body kind of reminds me of the supernatural. With their kind of angels, their angels have to use a body. Not the same parallel. You expect it would be like those. You expect it would be like this your entire stay in this place. Septem teleports you to the dining room again, Or you two are greeted by the dishes already placed on the table once more. Septem waits for you to start eating before he does. He doesn't seem very willing to have a conversation, but he can't help but think there's something strange about his attitude. His armor is not the same as the one he had inside that room. His behavior is totally different. Here it shows a confident mask, and here is a completely opposite one. Probably be a bad idea, so let's do it. Why do you have a different attitude now? Oh, what do you mean? You explained to him what happened in the altar room. The more you explain the situation to him, which strangely he doesn't seem to remember, Spectem's face turns red and with a serious expression. He seems to be halting in his anger. How did you find it? The key always stays with me. With me. Out of nowhere, Septem grabbed your wrist and twisted it so hard it breaks your bones. The crunch of every bone is horrible and the pain is unbearable, but he can't do anything but cry. For Septem's grip doesn't loosen or not even hits or scratches you deal with your hand. You're like an animal caught in a bear trap. You're so nosy. Septem smiles and cuts off your head. Baden, better keep quiet. Don't say anything. You don't want to risk your life by asking, so you decide to remain silent for now. Septem shows no interest in staring any kind of conversation. He doesn't. What's funny is because he doesn't know, so you eat in silence. So we could probably try to free both of us. Septem eats slowly. He seems totally disconnected from the action, as if doing it automatically. Your eyes have been on my face for a long time. Something wrong? Talk about light topics. It's no big deal. It's just I feel like there's a lot of silence. Does it make you uncomfortable? Don't know. It's not that you don't know. It's just I don't know what to answer. So as you're not to make him angry or make him feel like it's disrespectful. We're just very quiet. You're terrified that you won't answer in a way he thinks is right and you go off of our head. Don't worry, you have complete freedom to talk to me however you please. Are you sure about that? As long as it's you, Wyan, not the puppet. I'm here to serve you. Are you sure about that? Because pretty sure we can go back and yeah. I'm here to serve you. To ask questions. What happened to Noel? What do you want? Whose mother? How do you know about the bond we have between me and Wyan? Well, I'm gonna have to. What do you know about the bond? Septem froze his eyebrows before answering. Me and Wyan? Who is me? Wyan, I'll be clear. The next time I see the puppet detaching itself from you, I won't hesitate to break it. I don't need another one with a conscience of its own. I have enough with raw... It doesn't matter. After all, Mother can make in their vessel. Who is Mother? Septem sighs. Mother is the garden itself. She's in charge of holding everything together, and we are her source of energy. What do you want? Septem looks at you with a serious face. Don't be so anxious. We talk about it later. What happened to Noel? Septem looks at you with a small smile. He's fine. Nothing can stand him. You pierced his chest. It was nothing serious. It was just a flesh wound. Just a little warning. To RPM would take more than just that. A shame. Okay, stop asking. After finishing, Septem takes the plates and disappears without first saying that they will meet at dinner. You're really getting bored with this little interaction you've been having, and nothing interesting has happened so far. So if you had gone with Unum, Oh, we had at least one interesting. We found out he has a vessel, kind of like a supernatural angels can do. Well, you have to pass the time somehow. Well, you give me options, so escape. You walk around the entire length of the temple, looking at each of the accessible doors in each of the windows. Several doors lead to the same garden, but you still don't feel confident enough to leave. You try little by little. You walk a few steps. After leaving the door, nothing happens. Then you walk until you touch the glass with your feet. Nothing happens either. Oh, we made it a little bit farther than with Unum. You walk back as not to raise suspicions. You take another walk around the temple, looking through the windows. After a reasonable amount of time, you return to your goal, escaping. You go for another door that leads to the garden, and it's time you run in the direction of what appears to be a forest. So you run. You run so much that you're starting to get out of breath, so you decide to rest in some bushes. In the distance, you could see a shadow in the ground. It appears to be a snake, heading to your direction. Oh. It's him. Holding in your scream, you remain completely still. And you close your eyes. You should have done that. You don't recognize that voice. It's a hoarse female voice. You instantly open your eyes to see who it is. And what greets you is a figure of an entity covered in a veil and ruled by clothes. She carries a scythe that she whisks high into the sky. And it's the last thing you see. Baden knowing the second. Investigate the doors. Look for Septem's puppet, search for the document, find something to RPM, wait for Septem. Well, if Unan's route gave us indication we'd find this for another route. So find something to kill Septem. You look everywhere, and you find a knife. Search for the documents. You wonder why Septem has documents that could jeopardize his integrity. You don't even think about finding the documents is easy. You don't really think that finding those documents is an easy task, but you don't lose anything by doing it. You assume the void room is that pitch black room. So you go there. You take a deep breath and open the door. You can't see anything. You enter in slow pace with great care. You place both hands in front of you to avoid colliding with the wall or any object in front of you. You feel like you bump into something. When you touch it, you realize it looks like a small table or a desk. You wouldn't know for sure. You try to search for something that looks like paper, but there's nothing on it. You search and search, but there's nothing. That's until you find something in a box. But it doesn't open. It seems to have a lock. ... You can't open it. Okay, use the key. You look in your clothes for the key, praying to the gods that it also works for the box. It's a little difficult for you to put in the lock, but when you do it, click. It's been open. You search in and take out a bunch of papers, which you take all of them. Look for Septem's puppet. You walk directly to the temple to find a door near the altar. Use the key. You open the door, and there he is, sleeping. You decide to wake him up. Hello, it's good to see you again. Do you have the documents? Yes. You show him all the sheets you've taken out of the room. Some you can read, others you can't. They appear to be documents and birth records from various entities. Probably him. Almost like classified cards. Classification cards. Entities with names and ID type photos. Why does Septem need this? Probably because he's going for vessels. You both look for the document slowly. As you pass document after document, one catches your attention. The photo of the entity next to you appears. On the side of the document, his name appears. Raphael, is that your... Puts a mouth on your neck. He puts both hands on his neck while trying to having a pain expression. He can't fully respond. You know he has confirmed it to you. That's his name. As he can, he signals for you that you should get out of here. You have to say it. When he offers you the deal, that's when he's vulnerable. With that, he slams the door in your face. Wait for Septem. Time passes quickly, and this time you witness Septem materializing before the temple altar. By now, you've gotten used to it, so you don't get starved. It's time for dinner. Are we going to follow this routine every day? Lion, were you the one who asked that question? Yes. Use the knife. Why not? Use a knife. You search for your clothes for the knife you found, and before you can even take out the knife, Septem stops you with a hand while clicking his tongue. He looks disappointed. I didn't think you were so... Neve. Yeah, I just like going, pretending I'm Ghostface. Septem takes out the knife from your hands, and he smiles. The last thing you'd see is how Septem sinks the knife into your body, taking your life away. Baden, you can't kill a god with a knife. Are you sure about that? Why? To cover up to the puppet. Yes. The idea is that the puppets can contain energy to function properly. But both mine and yours. Do you have a puppet? Something like that. Septem begins to approach you, his angelic face. The antithesis to the aroma he transmits. Look, I really want you to understand what's happening and why you're vital to the garden's recovery. I won't want to omit vital information for your decision-making when the vessel change begins. I will implant my memories into the puppet to make it simple. Septem places his left hand on your forehead. You can skip the information below if you're not interested. I think you have something to do with that. No. Once talked about it. The skip button, I think it's the name. In the beginning, everything was darkness. Nothing, nevertheless, itself. When the crater arrived, it was light. There was light, and that was where my existence began. So he's the light, and the crater created. Although having light, it allowed me to see the shadows. It was there that we realized existence. No, he who had been in this place before my existence and the crater's arrival in the garden, waiting. Technically, doesn't he mean he predates the crater? No, and the crater were talking for a long time, and I began being without knowledge or anything, did not understand them. But I am sure of one thing, and that is that Noel seemed not to respect the crater. He treated them as equal, raising his voice, and even putting his dirty hands on them. Well, if he wasn't created by the crater, he would see him as equal, right? I would think. The crater gave me the mission to create the symbols to keep the garden running. So that's what I did. On Monday, I created the sun, but you know it as Unum. Tuesday was the stars, noon. On Wednesday, the earth and the planets were created, Trila. On Thursday, the moon was created. Quieter, was just as bright as the sun at first. Oh, that's the image. It's a shame that Fight Unum starred. Yeah, it suited him though. Before putting order, everything was chaos. If only I could have intervened. Maybe Quieter would still have her four eyes. But taking away two of her eyes, the moon stars stopped shining, except for one day of the month, and now rises when the sun sets. Sometimes. On Friday, all creatures were created, and a symbol was set up to represent them. Quinkyu. Finally, on Saturday, my dear Septem was born along with humanity. Well, if all creatures were born on Friday, wouldn't humanity be born on Saturday too? Because we're technically mammals. Sunday was a day of rest, and I was there all day, watching the garden work, but I did not have a physical body to experience everything I have created. And for a long time, it was like this. Until Septem told me about transfusing my essence into a human. Like, I'll just sacrifice my human for you. But to do this, I had to leave my existence behind and start living as a human, so I did. I instantly realized my mistake. When humans are conceived, they're given a soul that is distributed by the garden or mother, making a transfusion result in a mixture of human soul and the essence of the identity that makes it. Oh, is that why Unum 1 is soul baby? So this body is not completely mine. What do you need me for? I no longer have control of the Karn. After the career vanished, the Karn itself began to wither. The first sign was the disappearance of the children of Septem, the humans who gave us genuine devotion. In the chaos, Null reappeared and filled me in on everything about the world and the career. Then he taught me of the existence of our worlds abandoned by the career in a state equal to ours. But the difference is that they had humans, so we implanted ourselves in their culture. We consumed their devotion directly, every last Sunday of the month. Or just every Sunday month. But if you hear, it won't be necessary to continue with this. If we unite in transfusion, you would grant me the authority to manipulate the garden for myself. No. At our whim, we could save this world. To prevent Noel from destroying everything. Well, he has a good plan though. Destroy everything. He just Noel's Shimigami Tensei. Look. Septem reminds me of Sprout is reminding me of Supernatural. The symbols know the sad truth that we are nothing more than the world that pretends to be organic. All they know is that our world is dying. To you, it may be a game. For me and my people, it's our home. Even though everything is a lie, I want them to live in the best conditions. For the garden to return to what once was. I want to do everything impossible to avoid the inevitable. No matter now that you know, do you accept the deal? No one wants to destroy everything, but is accepting Septem's deal the right thing to do? It doesn't seem as so bad as you thought. Maybe it's just a bit. After all, he does what he believes is right, always following etiquette and rules because that's all he knows. But on the other hand, what's the kind? Ha! Septem doesn't hesitate for a single second before making your head explode. Bad and ... Rejected, summon Raphael! You prepare to say his name, praying to every kind of entity that this works. Well, if not, Septem will RP you. I want audience with Raphael. Come forth. What? Septem falls to the ground as an invisible weight falls on the ground top of him as he pronounced his counterpart's name. And you stay there, waiting for something to happen. The progress of revelation. You have to wait for a bit to have this date. Accept. I accept. Septem extends his hand to you, and you take it firmly. You feel like electricity is running through your body, and Septem's smile grows bigger with each passing second. I'll start with the preparations. In the progress of revelation, you have to wait a little bit to have this date. So that was To Eat a God. Act 1. Septem's route. If you like my content, please subscribe, and comment down below. See you guys next time.